Hello, Grayson friends. It's Ms. Wurman. I'm back to read you a story today. Today's story is called Peach and Blue. I suspect that is Peach and Blue. I suppose we'll find out. Peach and Blue is by Sarah Else Kilborne. One still summer afternoon, a large blue-bellied toad wandered away from his pond at the bottom of a small hill. He jumped through the grass, leaping high over the snake holes, and climbed up and up and up to the hilltop. There he rested in the shade of a tree and looked out over the pond below. A raindrop fell on his head. He searched the sky for heavy, stone-colored clouds, but there were no clouds at all. A few moments later, he felt another drop. This time, he looked directly above him to the tree, and at the end of a thick, knobby branch, he saw a peach with her eyes tightly shut. More drops fell on his head. There he is, having the rain fall on his head. And there's what his view is. I think he's talking about that peach right there. "Excuse me," called the toad. The peach opened her eyes. "I'm Blue," he said. "It's nice to meet you." "I'm Peach," said the peach, surprised. "What are you doing here?" "I came to see the view. Why are you crying?" "The summer's almost over. That means I'm warm, round, and red from the sun, and I've grown all I'll ever grow." Peach looked a moment into the tree. "This tree is my home, and I love my tree. But I wish I could see what the rest of the world is like. I want to feel grass. I want to touch animals. I want to lie down and look up at the stars. But I'm stuck to this branch, and I won't go anywhere until it's too late. Soon I'll be picked and made into a cobbler or a tart, or eaten all at once by some stranger." Blue shuddered. There she is, up in the tree, looking down and talking to him. No wonder she's crying. That does sound like something sad is about to happen to her and she's worried. "I wish I could walk," Peach said. "Then I'd walk right down this tree and into the fields. Is it nice by your pond?" "It's all right," said Blue. He told her about the moss and the ducks and the mosquitoes. He spoke of the leaves and the trees and the stone bench on one side. He described his brothers and sisters, all 13 brothers and 15 sisters. That's a lot of frogs. Peach came from a large family too. She was related to all the fruit on the tree. But none of the other peaches seemed interested in the world. Only Peach showed her face to the sun and the wind and the rain. Blue walked around the base of the tree. He thought about tarts and cobblers and wondered what they were. He thought about Peach being on the ground. "I'm not scared to fall," she said. A quick breeze suddenly caught Peach's branch. Blue watched her swaying in the wind. She swung out high, came down low, swung back out high, and almost tipped off the branch. "Stay there," said Blue. "I have an idea." And he disappeared down the hill. I wonder what his idea is. The next afternoon, Blue returned with his brothers and sisters. One by one, they jumped onto each other's backs, forming a tower. Blue sprang up last and landed directly beneath Peach. Then he stretched his arms around her, clasped her tightly, and pulled with all his might. Snap! Peach flew from the tree. "Peach!" yelled Blue. "Wait!" "I can't!" screamed Peach as she rolled down the hill. There's a big stack of frogs. And look, there she is, rolling down the hill. She is off the tree. Blue and his brothers and sisters leapt after her. The hill leveled out near the bottom, though, and Peach slowed to a stop on her own, right at the edge of the pond. There she is. "Are you okay?" yelled Blue from high up on the hill. "Fine," called Peach. "Don't move," warned Blue. "I won't," said Peach. When they reached the pond, Blue's brothers scurried behind a stump and returned carrying a small bowl made of twigs and mud with lily leaves on the bottom. Carefully, they lifted Peach and set her inside. It looks a little bit like a nest, doesn't it, that they're carrying? But it's a bowl. We've made this for you, they said. Peach gingerly felt the mud, the lilies, and the twigs. Thank you, she said. With a helpful shove from his sisters, Blue pushed the bowl off the sticky, muddy bank and onto the grass. There it glided easily. I will be your legs, said Blue behind Peach. We'll walk wherever you want to go. Peach opened her eyes wide. Oh my, she exclaimed. It's a harvest of colors. Blue looked at the damp old earth. What do you see? I love that he says, I will be your legs. That's so sweet. Peach began. The green of the moss, of the reeds of the grass, the red of my skin, of the ladybug's back, the blue of your belly, of afternoon's sky, the brown of the bank, of the eider duck's eye, the white of the swans, of the kingfisher's legs, the cream of cocoons, of whippoorwill's eggs, the silver of trout, of the damselfly's wings, the beautiful colors of beautiful things. You never told me about them, said Peach. I never saw them before, said Blue. They circled the pond the whole afternoon. They bumped over branches, they slid down mud slips, bobbed in the reed bed, and Peach all the while discovered a pond that Blue had never seen. When the sun began to fall, Blue set Peach gently into the water. He crawled onto a lily pad and tied the bowl to its flower. Together, they watched the yellow and orange bows of the sun unfold over the fields. When all that was left was the moon, the two of them drifted in the dark, live night. Shadows played off the pond. Crackling noises came from the bush. A bream leaped and splash, scattered waves and water over Peach and Blue. That's the bream. That's a fish. Would you like to sit on the bench for a spell? Blue asked. Peach nodded. Blue called to his friend the Kingfisher and asked her if she could help lift Peach to the bench. In an instant, Peach was flying through the air. Thank you, she said when she landed. Bounce, bounce, bounce on the stone. The Kingfisher gave her a soft old feather to sit on. Pleasure's mine, said the bird. But you rest up now. Seem a mite pale to me. Maybe you need some supper. The Kingfisher looked at Blue, then puffed out her chest and flew away. Immediately, Blue scooped some water into the lily cup. He sprinkled a few drops over Peach, and even in the darkness saw the color come back to her skin. She had been tired. Next, he tore a branch from a willow, making sure that one end was dripping with tree milk, and gave this to Peach as he settled beside her. It's not from a peach tree, he said, but it's almost as good. Our willows are strong trees. So here she is, after he's been taking care of her. Peach smiled and sat up straighter. She rocked a bit with the night breeze, and Blue wrapped his arm around her so she wouldn't slip away. He looked at the great world about them. You've shown me a special place, he said. Then he asked softly, do you miss your tree? Yes, said Peach, but I'm much happier now. It's very peaceful and beautiful there, isn't it? She relaxed in the crook of Blue's arm. I wish I could stay a while. You can stay here forever if you like, said Blue. I'd like you to. I don't think I'll last forever, said Peach. That's okay, said Blue. Not many folks do. But until then, you have me and I have you. And there they are, together. The end. I think that's a really lovely story. I like that she has met a new friend who showed her a whole new way to look at things he had seen all the time. And like, he had lived in that pond forever, but seeing it with a new friend made it very different for him. And I also like the fact that she does miss where she came from, but she's very happy to see new things. So maybe sometimes you need to look around you if you've been someplace, the same place for a long time, and you can see it with different eyes yourself. That might be helpful since we're all not together at school, but we're at home. That might help you see your environment differently. Look around your house and see what you see differently now that you're home. I hope you enjoyed the story. I love reading to you. It's one of my very favorite things to do. So I look forward to reading to you again soon next time. Have a great day. Goodbye.